Hi, my name is Jamie and welcome to my first Flosstube and my first YouTube video. I am super excited to be here and super excited that you decided to join in today. I want to do a introduction. I want to show my whips that I have going on and a kit parade and a small haul. I don't anticipate this video being too long since I don't have a whole lot since I haven't been stitching that long, but I wanted to just put myself out there, and this is something new for me. So thank you for joining in, and I want to just get right into it. Like I said, my name is Jamie. I am the owner or creator of NestingSeamsQuiltingCo. You can find me on Etsy, you can find me on TikTok, and you can find me on Instagram. I'll put all those right here for you guys so that way you can find me. On my Etsy, I mainly sell key fobs and I sell mug rugs. My ultimate goal is to be a quilting pattern writer in a long armor once I actually buy a long arm. Haven't done that yet, but that's a future plan for me. And right now I have been quilting since about 2019, and I've been cross stitching for a little over a year, about April 2022-ish, and haven't been doing that long, so I don't have that many finishes. I do want to show you my finishes today, but I mainly want to show my whips and everything. So like I said, just kind of want to get right into it. So right now, my oldest whip I have right here, it is called Toil in Trouble by Primrose Cottage Stitches. That's what it looks like. I started this about, what was it, about June 2022, about almost a year ago actually. And this is what I have. And so this is what I have. I have actually a lot done, but let me tell you about this. So I messed up on the word cauldron, and therefore I messed up on the word bubble, and therefore I messed up on the pumpkin, and I messed up on the and. This whole bottom section, this square here, it's all messed up. I am like a stitch or two like off, and it just messes up the entire flow of everything else, of everything. So I stopped this. I am not finishing this. I'm actually just going to completely redo it. I have enough floss in here. Let me show. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I have enough floss to redo it all. I might have to buy like an extra of this like purpley color. I used all of the called for DMC, and I used a I know this is an Aida. I think it's a 16 count Aida though. And I think the pattern calls for 14 count is what it calls for. So I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy I have to restart, but also if you can't tell, let me zoom in here. It's thick. She's thick. This was only like my third or fourth piece that I've ever done, and I accidentally used 4 strands over one, and I thought that was what you do at the time. I didn't know that you're supposed to do 2 strands, even though the pattern clearly says 2 strands over one. I thought that meant taking 2 strands of floss, putting it together, and then doing the loop method. That's not what that is, as I know now. So as soon as I realized that 1, it's too thick, and 2, I messed up too much, that I really can't continue without anything being straight, I guess I should say, I just decided to just completely stop. I'm going to rekit it, redo it. I was hoping to get it done last year for Halloween, and that didn't happen. So very upset, but again, it was only my 3rd or 4th piece, so you live and you learn. And so now that I know, I can redo it a lot better, and it's going to look so good once it's done. I'm so excited about it. I just have to actually find the time to work it into my whips and sit down and do it. And so that's going to be a next year thing, I think. I'm probably going to start it this year, but I'm going to finish it next year. All of that, it was very quick for me to do. I worked on it monogamously for probably maybe a few weeks, and I think as a beginner I made a lot of work in those few weeks, but a lot of people may think otherwise. I don't know. But anyway, that was that. I will rekit it, will redo it. My second whip I have, let me get it here. Sorry, I was so close to the camera. I have in a Stitching with the Housewives bag. I love Stitching with the Housewives. They were the first, I guess, designers that I discovered when I started cross stitching. I watched a lot of Fat Quarter Shop Flosstube when I started, and that's kind of how I found out about cross stitching. Didn't really know what it was until probably I got with my husband, and that was in 2017 because his great aunt cross stitches. And so when I wanted to cross stitch, I just looked up Fat Quarter Shop because I quilt, obviously, and I knew that they do cross stitching, and so that was kind of my starting point. A little more introduction there. But anyway, Stitching with the Housewives bag for a Stitching with the Housewives pattern. Sorry I didn't show the pattern first. This is the You Are My Sunshine pattern here. I have it right here. Let me show you real quick. Okay. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's all done. And so I have, like I said, that I only have the sunshine to do right here with the black around it, like up here. And then I have a few sunflowers to do, and then I'm done. I'm hoping to finish this within the next 2 weeks. I'm really hoping. And I'm actually going to finish it in this. I got this from Goodwill actually, but I've seen them at Hobby Lobby. They're only like $2.99 at Hobby Lobby, and typically they're on sale for 40% off, so it makes them like $1 or something. So I'm gonna put this on sticky board and put it on fabric on top of that, and then put it all in this. And this is actually going to go, when it's done, into my bedroom. We are redoing our bedroom a sunflower bee theme, so I'm just trying to stitch things that are close to that, so that way our bedroom has like a homey feel. So that one is You Are My Sunshine by Stitching with the Housewives. My next one is also a Stitching with the Housewives pattern. I have it in a bag made by me. Let me get out so you can see what the inside looks like here. But anyway, this one is the June calendar crate. That's what it's going to look like. And I actually bought this piece. It's from Hobby Lobby. It's quite expensive. I got it on sale though. So when it's on sale, it's very nice. So I'm using the called for Classic Colorworks for this one. And this is how much I have done. So I have quite a bit done. I still have all of the strawberries to do though. So I'm anticipating that's going to take me quite a bit. But I also messed up on this piece, guys. So it's such a minor mess up, but it's like a major mess up at the same time. So right here in strawberry, I went to my R right into my Y, and they're supposed to be, the Y is supposed to be more predominant. So I have to unstitch the Y and the word fields, and then a little of this border right here. I'm not happy about it. So this one has been in timeout, as people say, because I've just been really unhappy. It was my mistake, but you know, I'm not a experienced designer, so all of my pieces have mistakes, unfortunately, but that's what that one is. I can probably get away without ripping it out, but I'm going to notice, and if I notice, I need to rip it out. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to things, so I need to have everything completely perfect. And I hate that about me, but I also love that about me at the same time. You feel me? But it is what it is. My next project, oh, and by the way, I don't know when I started those two projects. I did not keep track at the time when I started them. When I started the Strawberry Fields one, I don't know what day I started it. It was sometime in the month of May. That's all I know. I think maybe the like beginning-ish of May, maybe around like May like 5th or 6th, somewhere around there. But again, I don't know. I didn't start tracking when I stitch things until this project right here that I'm about to show you, which let me show you this. It is so cute. So anyway, I started this one. This one is called Meowka by Cross Stitch Wonders. I just thought it was so adorable that I had to stitch it. And also it's a very fast stitch. I started this one on June 18th. I'm using all of the cod for DMC on 14 count white Aida. Let me pull it out here. And this is what it looks like. My cute little needle minder. I don't know where I got it from. I'm sorry if you sell this needle minder. Put it in my comments and I will credit you in my next video. But I got it off of Etsy, that's all I know. But this is how much I have done. And like I said, I just started this about a week ago. I messed up on the sunglasses. I messed up right around here. And since it's symmetrical on both sides, I messed up on both sides. So because of where I messed up, it messed up all of this. And then when I went to go inside of here to outline the glasses, that's when I realized I had messed up and everything was not lining up how it was supposed to. And I'm like, okay, what did I do? And I realized I went stitch by stitch by stitch on the pattern to find out where I messed up. And I realized it was somewhere around the nose, because I did the nose first and then the sunglasses and then the letters. And I'm just kind of doing the letters right now because I don't want to rip all of this out. It's going to be a lot to unrip because I have to unrip all of the sunglasses and I don't want to, but I'm going to have to. So instead of just ripping it out, I'm just doing the Meowka right now, and I'll worry about the whiskers and the up top and the glasses later. So it's a very fast stitch. Like I said, very fast. I can finish a letter here within about 30 to 45 minutes. This is typically my lunch stitch. I get an hour for lunch at my work. So I typically turn to this one in the past couple days just because of how fast it is. I can get a little done on my lunch, or like a lot done on my lunch actually. So I'm going to be upset when I have to actually rip it out, but it's coming. I know it's coming. And because I was so upset with that one, once I realized my mistake, I started a new stitch. So this one I started a day later on the 9th of June. And this one is called Pinwheel Gnome, also by Cross Stitch Wonders. Fun fact about me, am obsessed with gnomes. My husband hates it. I am obsessed with them. On this one, I'm using all called for everything floor, all called for everything, DMC and 14 count white Aida. Sorry, could not think of the words here. And I don't have a whole lot done on this one, just because this one, I feel like it takes a little bit more time, just because I am a beginner. It takes a little bit more time for me, because if you can't tell in the pattern, I mean, I'm not going to show you the pattern, but here there's two different kinds of reds, and then there's two different kinds of whites in his beard, and there's two different kinds of blue as well. So there's different kinds of everything, a lot of the colors here, but this is what I have so far. and I have it on a Flamingo Toes needle minder on it. And I'm actually very happy with this progress. I'm also very happy with the nose in general. It was my first time doing 3/4 stitches. And again, because I'm happy with it, let me just show you. I'm very happy with that nose. That's a good looking nose. Again, very happy. So it's taking a little longer than I thought it would. I started this one and the Meowka as part of the Red, White, and June from Fat Quarter Shop. And so I'm not going to get them done probably by the end of the month, but I'm hoping to get them done at least by the middle-ish of July. We don't decorate our house for the 4th of July, so they're just going to be kind of like summer pieces for our house, which again, I'm happy about. But my goal is not to finish them by like end of the month or like July 4th or anything. My goal is just to finish them probably about mid-July, you know, for at least a summer project. As part of another stitch that I'm doing for Red, White, and June it's called Safe Space. I started this one, I actually think on June, maybe 3rd. I probably started it before the other ones, and I just put them out of order, honestly. But what I'm doing is I bought this book called Feminist Cross Stitch by Stephanie Rohr, and I love it. I love all the stitches in it, and I want to stitch so many of these. Like, let me show you what actually the toughest one is. Like, how amazing is that? As a beginner, I could never as a beginner, but I'm hoping that someday down the line I feel confident enough to do it. But this is the one I'm doing. It's called Safe Space. It's just a little 4x6 piece, something very simple, because also it's Pride Month and I am pansexual. So I wanted to stitch a Pride Month piece, but I wanted something relatively easy from the book. And so that's what I chose to do. And this is my progress right now. Got threads everywhere. So I have the border, or well, should say outline of the border done, and most of the word space done. And I have a good part of the red done. This one is a little tedious just because there is like one stitch, you gotta break it, and then the next stitch will be like up here, and then you gotta stitch one, break it, next stitch will be over here, stitch one, break it, you know, same procedure. So I'm leaving all of the color for last. I'm just doing all of the black first. And I find that going a lot better than I thought it would actually. Again, this is a fast stitch as well, and I'm really liking it. There are some other ones from the book that I want to do. I actually bought some of the called for, actually I bought all of the called for, I should say, DMC for one of them. Sorry, I'm looking down. I'm trying to find where this pattern is because I want to show you what it looks like here. And of course, I'm not finding it. But it's it's called Beauty is But a Number. Here, I found it. It's called Beauty is But a Number. Oh, sorry, Beauty is Not a Number. I'm so sorry. That's what it's called. Beauty is Not a Number. It's very pretty. I love the blues in it. My camera doesn't show it well. I am on my phone, I'm sorry. But my camera doesn't show it well, but that's what it looks like. And this one is only 5x7 finished size. So it's a pretty small piece. I'm actually going to do this one and frame it in my bathroom because I just think that's such a cute bathroom piece. So that's what I'm going to do there. Okay, that's all my whips. Like I said, it was not a lot. I'm so sorry. I have not been stitching a whole lot. I'm mainly a monogamous stitcher. It's only recently, like past month and a half that I have started stitching more than one at a time. And so it's all new to me. I don't think I'm ever going to be one of those floss tubers or just one of those people in general that have 70 whips going at one time. That stresses me out. Like, how do you guys function? Please. And I'm sorry if that's you and you function just well. That's just not me. But the most I think I'm ever going to do at one time is maybe like 10 or like 15. I do have a lot kitted up that I'm going to end up starting. I actually was waiting to start 2 of them before, until after I filmed this video. So let me actually, that's all my whips. Let me actually get into my kit parade. I have a lot kitted up. I think it's maybe 6 or 7 kitted up. Again, not as many as other people. Again, I'm still starting out. So I'm very happy with my progress that I've done and where I'm going. Very happy with them. And that's all that matters. Do what you're happy with. So let me get in my kits. So this is a bag made by me. And I have a little ghost enamel charm. This is from Fat Quarter Shop. And I'll show you the inside in a second. But this one, I actually have a Christmas stitch in it. Halloween bag Christmas stitch. This is what the inside of the bag looks like. I am obsessed with this fabric. I don't know what the designer is, unfortunately. I got it when I went to Paducah last year for their quilt show. We stopped at I took a bus to Paducah, a Greyhound bus with about 30 other women. And we stopped at 3 quilt shops on the way there. We were there for the weekend in Paducah, and then we stopped at 3 quilt shops on the way back. I had so much fun. I recommend, if your local quilt shop is putting something like that on, go. I had so much fun. I thought my anxiety would be through the roof because I'm in a small bus with 30 other women, but it was so much fun. And I was the youngest one there. I'm only 27. At the time I was 26. So I was fairly young, but I had a lot of fun. It was so much fun. Anyway, into the kit that's in there. This is Stitching with the Housewives pattern called Gingham Gradients. Let me pull that back a little bit. This is what it looks like. I'm using the called for DMC on 14 count black Aida. And I'm not going to show you the floss or the Aida. There's no point in that. It's just black. But this is what it's going to look like. I am going to finish it pretty much the same way. And I'm going to try to get this done. Actually, I need to get this done by the beginning of December. Because my husband's family, well, my family, does a ornament exchange every year. And it's kind of like a who brought the best ornament and who got the best ornament type thing. So I thought it would be fun to stitch an ornament this year. So I'm going to pretty much stitch it the same exact way that they did. And I'm going to finish it the same way. So that one is Gingham Greens by Stitching with the Housewives. My next one, I just have in a bag here. This one I am so excited about. I have seen so many floss tubers doing this pattern. It's by Frizzy Lizzy Stitches. I'm sure you know exactly which one I'm talking about. Meet Me at Midnight, Taylor Swift. So excited about it. This one I'm actually stitching for my sibling. They are a huge Swiftie, have been ever since debut came out, and I am just so excited to stitch this. I cannot wait to stitch this. Look at that. It has 10 of the songs from Taylor's new album Midnights on it. And again, I'm just so excited for it. And I'm super excited because I actually dyed the fabric myself. So I dyed a 28 count Monaco fabric. This is what it looks like. Look at that marbling. That is so pretty. And I did that all by myself. I'm so happy with it. And I think it's going to look so good on this with the purples. Here, let me get it. There you go. So pretty. So happy with it. I used, like I said, I dyed it myself. I used Pestle Pink, I believe it's called. Pastel Pink, one of those two. I got it at Hobby Lobby. Fun fact, Hobby Lobby for Rit dye is the cheapest by far. Rit dye typically costs almost $5. At Hobby Lobby, it's $2.99. So I live in a small area, and the nearest like Joann's or Michael's from me is 30 minutes away, and Hobby Lobby is literally, I can see it from my house. So I don't support the values of Hobby Lobby, of course, but sometimes it's a lot easier to just go to the Hobby Lobby I can see than anywhere else by me. Anyway, that's just a fun fact. Like, not even fun, it's just a fact, I guess, about me. Anyway, I'm using 310 DMC, and I'm actually using Blanc DMC. And then I am using Weeks Dye Works Pure Purple. I love the variegation in this. Love it. And then I am using Classic Colorworks Granny Annie. And I love the variegation in that too. Sorry, it's kind of hard to tell. But I think on this, that's just gonna look so pretty. I am obsessed with this purple. I need to stitch a monochrome pattern in it. I love it so much. So I'm very excited. My sibling will probably watch this video, but they already know I'm stitching this for them. I had to ask them if they wanted me to stitch something for them, because I didn't want to stitch it and then have them not like it, like happens. I'm a quilter, so that actually happens a lot. It's kind of why I stopped giving gifts, quilts as gifts for people, because people just aren't appreciative. And my sibling's not that type of person. They are very appreciative of things. I just wanted to make sure that they liked it. So I showed them first. They gave me the go ahead to do it. So I'm doing it. It's going to be their Christmas gift. So I'm actually starting that one probably Monday-ish. I have Monday off because of Juneteenth. Happy holidays. And I'll probably stitch it then. Probably spend the whole day stitching. Okay, my next kit I have is a pattern from a Patreon. I am a Patreon of Mama Witch X Stitch on Patreon. And I'm gonna kind of hold it back here because this is the chart, and it's called Ain't That Just the Way? And it calls for 18 count black Ada. I'm using what I have. I have 14 count, so I'm using 14 count black Ada. And with the 14 count, it actually comes up to about 3.5 by 4.5 wide. So it's a little bigger than the actual called for, but I'm happy with that. I'm going to finish it. Because it's a little like witchy, and I love those vibes. I love witchy vibes. It's very much my style. I'm going to finish it in either a black hoop or a wooden hoop. I'm thinking like a wooden oval hoop. I think that would just look so cute with this pattern. And I just thought this guy was just so cute. I mean, look at him. I love it. I've never seen where it comes from. I think this comes from a show. I've never seen the show. I just thought it was cute, and it's, I support her Patreon, so I want to stitch something from the Patreon. I just subscribed to the Patreon recently, and so I downloaded everything that she has to offer, and this was one of them. And again, I'm super excited for it. I'm using all of the called for DMC, and actually let me get the DMC here. Sorry guys, but I think this is how big the piece is. it's just a scrap fabric. It's not much to go off of. That's why I'm thinking an oval hoop instead of a circle. But anyway, this is all the called for DMC here. Let me put it on the fabric so that way you can see it. How am I gonna hold this? Okay. So it has like some greens and some like coppery tones, little copper here. I love this green. This green is 733. Yeah, 733. And I just love that color. Green is my favorite color of all time. My all-time favorite color is like a foresty green, like that dark green that like evergreen trees are. I love it. So that's what my kit is. That's Ain't That Just the Way by Mama Witch X Stitch. I always mess up her name. My next kit I have, guys, I am so excited about this. Not only is this the first pattern bag I ever made, but I am so excited about what is inside of it. So this, and I have a Stitching with the Housewives enamel charm. Could not think of the word charm on it. So this is Horror Icons Cross Stitch Pattern by Rebel Stitch. It's 12 horror movie icons. And I am actually making this for my dad. He is a horror movie fanatic, and I'm making this for him for Christmas. And I know he won't watch this video. This is a relatively big piece. It's 4 by 11, so it's pretty wide, not so much tall, but it does call for, since there are 12 horror movie icons, it calls for 28 DMC colors. Here they are, 28. The lady at Hobby Lobby was like, oh, are these for your stash? And I'm like, no, they're for a cross stitch project I'm working on. And she's like, that's a lot. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So it's just a lot. I had this fabric from my stash. It's just a like white gray granite color. It is Charles Croft 14 count Ada. I think it's just going to look really good with everything. This is what the inside of the bag looks like, if you were curious. Very happy with how this bag came out. I will be making more. This was my first and only one. But back to the pattern. I'm super excited about this pattern, guys. So excited. I also myself love horror movies, and I calculated it. And if I stitch one icon a week for 12 weeks, because there's 12 of them, I can actually get this done before his birthday, my dad's birthday. So I might do that and give it to him for his birthday, so that way his birthday's in September, so that way he can enjoy it for the Halloween months. But I'm probably going to start this one on Monday as well. I'm probably going to start both, Meet Me at Midnights and this one on Monday, so that way I can be on time with my Christmas gifts. So that's what I'm going to do. And again, that's Horror Movie Icons by Rebel Stitches on Etsy. She actually does not have that pattern anymore. I just remembered. She does not have that pattern anymore. As soon as I bought the pattern, it got taken down due to copyright infringement. But I'm sure if you message her, she might be able to work something out with you for like payment and getting you the pattern. But if not for any reason, she also has a lot of other cross stitch patterns on her Etsy shop that I actually also like as well. It's my style. It may not be everyone's style, but definitely worth a check out if you like that one. Check out her other ones for sure. Again, that's Rebel Stitches on Etsy. My next my next kit that I have is actually, I only have the pattern for it. So this is Pansy Patch Quilts in Stitchery. houses on Pumpkin Lane, and this is Pumpkin House. And I, again, only have the pattern right now, but Fat Quarter Shop will be doing a stitch-along with this in January. I will be participating in a stitch-along, and I will be buying all of the called for floss and the called for fabric once it kind of gets announced. It hasn't been announced yet. They just announced that they're doing the stitch-along. About said so along. They announced that they were doing the stitch-along about a month ago, and I'm going to be participating in that. I'm going to stitch mine as one big piece, and one of the houses alone is about 5 by 5.5. And on their website, you can get the border that goes with it, and with the 3 by 3 for the houses, because there's 9 houses total, plus the border, it's going to be like 17 inches by like 17 inches. This is going to be a big piece. Definitely going to be the biggest that I will do at that time, but I'm so excited for it. It's right up my alley. It fits my decor perfectly when I decorate for fall, so I just have to stitch it. I only have that one pattern now. I just got it about a week ago, and my thought process is every time I go to like my local LNS or anytime I am on Fat Quarter Shop's website, I can just pick up one of the house patterns, and then by the time the stitch along like ends, because it will end in September because there's 9 houses and starts in January, I will have all of the patterns. So just kind of buying the patterns little by little. Once Fat Quarter Shop releases the fabric that Kimberly is using, I'm going to probably do an 18 count fabric. What I'm thinking is 18 count milk and honey. And once they release the thread packs, I'm hoping they release thread packs, because otherwise it's going to be so expensive to buy all of that thread. I'm going to buy it. So that one is Houses on Pumpkin Lane. And my last kit that I have kitted up is, I'm so excited for this one. I actually just kitted this one up a few days ago. And it is Teresa Kogut, Silo Witches Quaker. I saw this and I immediately had to have it. I am obsessed everything Halloween. Halloween is my vibe. I love Halloween. And I saw this and I'm like, yep, you're coming home with me. And so I saw in my local LNS, and I immediately had to kit it up as soon as I saw it. I had to buy everything there. So I actually bought the called for fabric. It's a 40 count linen. The highest I've stitched with is 18 count. I've been cross stitching for 1 year. I am crazy. So 40 count linen. I just got a little piece. The piece is only, the sampler is only 8.5 by 8.5, I think. 8 1/4 by 8. So I have well enough here, but I've never stitched on 40 count before. I am so nervous, and I want to get this done by summer next year. I'm giving myself plenty of time. And I even bought special needles. I bought the Bowen needles for it. They're still in the packaging because they just arrived and I just threw them in the kit bag. But I bought the needles for it. These are a 28 count. And then I actually bought Classic Colorworks floss for it. So the called for floss is actually, let me check, it's Swamp Water and Guacamole by Weeks Dye Works. When I was kitting up, I had to kit it up there because I was so excited about it. And they only had one of the swamp waters at my LNS, and it calls for 3 swamp waters. So I did not want to buy that 1 lone swamp water and then 2 of something else, because it would just look too weird. And I also didn't want to use DMC personally, because I want this to be a very nice piece. I'm going to put it in glass, in a nice frame. Like, this is one I'm going to actually go get framed. I'm not going to frame it myself. I'm actually going to go get it framed. So is what I was thinking while I was there. And so I wanted some specialty floss. So I stood there, and I'm not even kidding. I stood there for probably 15 minutes color matching floss. And I color matched the best I could, and I got Classic Colorworks Sticks and Twigs. Got 3 of those, and I just love this color. It's not showing, I'm sorry, my camera's bad, but it's not showing up great, but it has a like brassy almost color. It's not quite black, it's more like a brownish green. Again, I bought 3 of those, and then I didn't want 1 week's Dye Works and then 3 Classic Colorworks flosses. So I color matched Guacamole with color matched Guacamole. I thought I said that wrong, with Classic Colorworks. And I decided on Eve's Leaves. And this one was almost a exact match, actually. And I just think this is a very pretty green. And there's not a whole lot of green in the pattern, as you can tell. It's mainly on the Frankenstein here. But I still didn't want to have one of one and one of the other, personally. Hey, sorry about that, guys. My phone just decided that we were done filming, so I had to take a few minutes to reprocess, and now I can continue on. So that was actually the end of my kit parade. So luckily I got all of that straightened out before it had stopped filming. So now I actually want to show some of the finishes that I have done. It's only about 5 or 6. Again, haven't been stitching that long. I know I keep saying it, but yeah, so these are my finishes. So this one was my first ever finish, first ever cross stitch, actually. And it was just a little kit from Hobby Lobby, just something very simple. And this did not take me very long. It took me about a day, and I love it. It hangs up next to my my office, my work computer in my office, and I love it. It just reminds me of, you know, where I started. My next stitch is a stitch along that Fat Quarter Shop hosted in 2022, last year. Their Boo Crew stitch along that they do for their Halloween in June and July type thing. So this is what I did. I just stitched the ghost and then the word boo with the cauldron. I messed up on the rest of it, so that's why I didn't do the rest of it. I didn't want to waste all of this because I had already did all of this, so I just went ahead and just cut off the rest, finish this. I do plan on doing the actual full version. It says Boo Crew with some, with like a cat and like a witch hat. It's so cute. Check it out on their website if you're interested, but I just finished this into a little pillow. Here's the back of it. Like I said, I do plan on redoing this sometime soon. Don't know when though. And I use the called for fabric, which is actually witched. It's a purpley color. I'm trying to think of the name of it. French Country, something along those lines. French Country Lavender, something like that. And then I use the called for DMC on that. And then another project I did was a kit from, I think this is from Michaels. And it's just a little hedgehog with a little mushroom. I think he's so cute. As you can tell, this side over here, it's not finished. Let me show you this back, because the back is horrendous. It's so bad. At least I think it's so bad. But anyway, This, I did not finish it. This was when I was using the 4 strands over 2 that I had mentioned earlier. And so it's very thick. So I ran out of floss during it, and I just never picked up more. I'm, not going to frame it or anything. I am going to keep it just because it shows where I've been, and I can show, my daughter, hey, if she ever gets into this stuff, that, hey, it's okay, look at how bad this is. Because I think this is pretty bad, even though I think it's cute. But so that one's that one. And then my next one, this one is a FFO, and I'm so happy about it. Let me show you this. Isn't it so cute? So this one is Stitchy Stars by Lori Holt for It's So Emma for Fat Quarter Shop. And I used the called for DMC on it. And I just used a white Aida. It calls for a like oatmeal Aida, like maybe a Lugana. But I just used a white Aida, what I had on hand. And I just think it's so cute. I love it. This did not take me long at all. This probably took me, honestly, about a month off and on. It was very fun stitch. I tried to do 1 star, maybe like a star and a half a week, I should say. Again, very easy. I actually finished this on the called for wood piece that it does, which is from Michaels. It's a wood plaque, is what it's called, 18 inches by 3.9. And so it fits this perfectly. And I just wrapped this around some sticky board, and then I just hot glued it to the board, and then I wood stained the board so that way it gives it a nice little finish, because I didn't want white on white. And you can see on the back it's still white. That's my test piece. But you can see on the back it's still white. But I painted all of the edges and everything like that. Love how it turned out. This actually hangs above my front door. I'm very excited about it. All right, let me put that away. My next one is the mini from the June calendar crates. And this is called The Sweet Life by Stitching with the Housewives. Again, it's the mini from the June calendar crates. I love this. This only took me about 2 days. And it only took me that long because I messed up so much on this S. But I just think it's so cute. I'm obsessed with it. I cannot wait to finish that other stitch and finish it all together on the piece, because I already have a frame for this that I'm going to put a like twine or something on and hang it on that little peg that's on the frame. I'm very excited about it. And then my last finish I have to show you guys is a Stitching with the Housewives ornament. It's called Jolly Claws. Let me actually put something behind this so you can see it. Okay. Jolly Claws. And this took me 1 day to do, actually. I stitched it during, off and on during work, and then after I got off work, I stitched it. Very quick to do. It was very fun. I loved doing it. And I'm going to finish this the same exact way as the other one, the Gingham Christmas that I'm doing as an ornament for my family's ornament exchange. And I'm going to finish it basically the same way, 2 pieces of sticky board, just exactly how it comes. And then I will pop a photo up here of my other stitch that I have fully finished. It is Halloween Kisses, I believe is the name, by Primrose Cottage Stitches. Primrose Cottage Stitches, there we go. And this is what it looks like. I finished this in a pillow form with stuffed some polyfill into it, and I finished it. It's very small. It's about the size of my hand because I didn't know what the called for was, and I just used what I had grabbed at the store without realizing that there's different counts. So that was only my 2nd stitch ever, actually. And so I love the way that I finished. I think it's very cute. All right, so that's all for finishes. Now I'm going to show a little haul that I have of some fabrics and then what I have planned for those fabrics. So first off, I was gifted a like 90s embroidery machine from my husband's great aunt with a whole bunch of floppy disk, because it takes floppy disk. There's probably like 200 floppy disks that I was gifted. And then gifted embroidery books and a whole bunch of thread. I'm so thankful that his great aunt trusted me and thought of me and gifted me all of this. And with all of that came some cross stitch stuff. So I was super excited to get some cross stitch fabric. So I was gifted these tubes of Charles Craft fabric, and there's about 6 of them. They vary from 14 count to 18 count, and they're mainly white except for this color. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. It's the same color as the horror movie icon cross stitch that I'm doing. And I'm just so excited about these because now I don't have to like buy if I'm just doing like a fun piece that, you know, maybe I want to give away or something. I could just turn to one of these and just go from there with it. Let me put that away real quick. Okay. And then in that as well, I was gifted some linen. So I have I have 3 things of, again, Charles Craft 32 count linen. This is what it looks like. I have no idea how old this is. I think this is actually very old. At least from maybe, I'd say 2009, maybe 2010. I don't know. But they're good size. It says large, 18 by 24 size, 32 count linen in the color cream. This is what it looks like. I've never, like I've said, I've never worked with linen before. So these are going to be a like test piece for me, just to try to see how I like it before I actually buy a more expensive type linen, like I did with the 40 count. So I'm going to practice on that first, see how I like it, see how like smooth it is, because like I said, I never worked with it, so it's all trial and error for me right now. So that's that. And then I am subscribed to Fat Quarter Shop's Fabric Flare Monthly Club, and this is last month's, which is Fairy Mist. I still have it in the package, but it's 14 count Aida. That's just a little bit what it looks like. I love it. I think it's so pretty. And then they have recommended patterns for it here. I will not be doing these recommended patterns. I actually have a different plan, and my plan is to do a fairy on it because I think that would look so pretty. Maybe like a Mirabilia type fairy. Again, never done anything like that. I know that's very big, but I just think it would look so cute. So if you have any like patterns that you think would look good on that fabric, leave them below in the comments so that way I can like read through them and get at some ideas. That would be so great. And then I hand dyed another piece of fabric, Rit dyed. This is, I used Kelly Green Rit dye. Let me kind of get a little up closer here so you can see kind of the marbling. And what I'm going to use this for is I'm going to use it for the Stitching with the Housewives Honeybee Roundabouts and the Honeybee Dapper Doodads that they do. And so the roundabouts are only about 3.5 inches big. Dapper Doodads are about 4 by 4. So I'm thinking I can get probably all 8 things out of this piece of fabric. I already have the called for floss in Classic Colorworks and DMC for all of them. So I'm thinking I can get all of it done. And again, we're doing our bedroom like honeybee sunflower theme. So it's going to go into our bedroom and I'm super excited about it. Super excited. And then my last thing I have is this very pretty fabric that I cannot remember the name of, and I took the tag off because I didn't know what I was doing and that the tag would be useful. I do know it is a 28 count, and I got this from my local LNS. And let me just show you how pretty this is. Guys, I saw this and I said, you're coming home with me. I don't know if you can tell from back there or maybe even on the camera, but it's sparkly. Oh yeah, that picks up. It's sparkly, it's very nice, has some beautiful marbling. And this one, I actually am doing a mermaid on it. I found a mermaid on 123 stitch pattern, and it's going to be, I believe the pattern is called Mermaid Aquabella, and it's a Mirabella type pattern. So it has beads and everything, lots of stitches. And I am so excited. I don't know when I'm going to end up doing it because I have to buy the beads, the pattern, the floss, and it calls for a lot of beads and floss, a lot. So on 123 stitch, they recommend the stuff that comes with it. And so I just hit select all, add it to cart just to try to see what the price would be. And it's going to be about $100 just for beads, floss, and pattern. And then I already have the fabric, so it's going to be quite an expensive piece. So it's going to be more of like a show piece. So I want to go ahead, maybe buy it as like, maybe try to convince my husband to buy it as my Christmas gift is what I'm thinking. So that way I can start it for the new year, because that's going to take me a long time to stitch, especially considering if I don't stitch now between then on any sort of 28 count, that will be my first 28 count piece. So I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm very confident that I can do it. I just need to do it, essentially. So that is this one. Very excited about it. And so that is my upcoming stitches and plans that I have for that. And then I have a small haul that I wanted to show. So over the weekend, I went to Cincinnati, Ohio, where I am from. And me and my sibling, we went out and for the day, and we went to Goodwill, we went to Half Price Books and a couple other places. And when I was at Half Price Books, I got some books. So I got this one. It's called Tiny Stitches Embroidery. And I just think they are so cute. And they have one in here that I'm sure I won't be able to find it now, that I actually want it. But it's of a cat. Toe beans. Look at how cute that is. Tell me that is not adorable. I definitely will be stitching that. That is so cute. And then while I was there as well, I looked through the cross stitch books, and they didn't really have a whole lot. I got this one though, and it's just a very basic book. Tells you how to do your stitches, and it has just some like beginner patterns, basically how to finish some, like I'm going to show it from a little further back because this is the pattern, but this is kind of how it looks like in the book. I love that. I will be stitching that though. And so that's kind of how it looks like. It's a very beginner thing, which I'm still am a beginner, so I don't mind. That's why I didn't mind picking it up. And there's a lot of helpful, useful things in it that I will benefit from. And if my daughter gets into cross stitching, or anyone in my family gets into cross stitching, I could just pass this book along to them because like I said, it's very beginner friendly. And then like I said, we went to Goodwill, and I scored at Goodwill. Let me just tell you. So I saw these two items and I ran to them. So first, I saw a yarn winder. This was only $5. And these, I know this one's like plastic, but it was either this one or one like this big that was industrial size. And I'm like, I don't know where I would put the industrial size one, nor do I have a use for industrial size, because I have a yarn collection, but I don't crochet much and I don't know how to knit. I only crochet. So I just went with this one so that way I can make them into nice little cakes. My husband was more excited than I was about this purchase because I typically make him wind my yarn. And so he was like, oh, now I don't have to do by hand. I can just crank it. And I'm like, yeah, you can still wind my yarn. And then I saw this and ran to it. And this, I was so excited about. So if you don't know what this is, you put your yarn through here and then you turn this crank and these like pegs catch your stitches. Sorry, my watch is going off. Catch your stitches and you can create tubes. And I'm going to use this for beanies and I don't know, anything else I can think of. I only know about beanies. So if you have anything, you know, patterns or any other things that I can make besides beanies with this, let me know in the comments because I am so excited about this. I wanted one for Christmas and I didn't get one and I was a little upset. But I understand that they are more on the pricey side. I mean, they're like medium price. They're only like 40, 50 bucks, but I got that for $6 if you didn't see the tag on it. So excited. So those two things that would have cost me maybe like 70 bucks only cost me $11. So I was very excited when I saw those things. And so I just had to have them. Essentially. All right, so that is all that I have. So I'm going to talk about now upcoming plans for my channel. So I plan to release a video possibly about like every like 2-ish weeks on Friday for Flosstube Friday. That's a thing, I guess, in the Flosstube community. At least the Flosstubers I watch release videos on Friday and call it Flosstube Friday. And I have FOMO, so I don't want to be left out. So I'm going to release mine on Fridays too. And I'm really excited, very nervous. So if you liked what you saw and you want more, please like this video if you want. Please subscribe to my channel. I will be having more videos here in the upcoming weeks and hopefully more finishes that I can show you and more starts to add to my whip piles. So thank you for so much for watching and subscribing if you do and tuning in, and I will see you guys all in 2 weeks next time. Thank you. Bye.